Boys and girls of 4th grade, it is my distinct privilege and honor to introduce you to the first seven presidents of the United States. Hit it, maestro! George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, John Quincy Adams, Andrew Jefferson. Brought to you by Mr. Turco. Hey, that's me as a 4th grader. Chapter 6, The Many-Sided Jefferson. Things that make you go, what? 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 Imagine you're hosting a dinner party for the following people: an architect, lawyer, scholar, inventor, author, farmer, scientist, and a politician. How many place settings will you need? And you don't have to include you. Now you're probably thinking, well, just count each profession. Architect 1, lawyer 2, scholar 3, and so on. And there are 8 professions listed, so 8 place settings. Isn't the answer 8?
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
Well, actually, the answer is only 1. If you read the first paragraph on page 38, you'll find the answer. How can that be? Well, remember the rap that says, "Our third president, may we introduce Thomas Jefferson, American Zeus." He was a philosopher, scientist, and inventor. A philosopher is somebody who loves learning. More on that in a minute. He was also a scientist. He did lots of weather observations, just like you guys did on your weather trackers. He also invented lots of clever things. You can still see some of them today if you visit his house in Virginia, which he named Monticello.
I gotta be in Monticello. I gotta be in Monticello.
He believed strongly in everyone getting a good education. In fact, he felt this was the key to America becoming a successful country. If we the people, like we learned from the Constitution, if we the people have the power and not kings or nobles, then he felt it was up to us to be well educated so we could have a good government. Over 200 years later, Americans still believe that. And that's part of why you're watching this video right now. Education is very important.
Books, knowledge, education.
Mr. Turco, are you okay?
What's that? I'm fine. I'm fine. He was right, you know, Thomas was. Education's all that matters. That's what I told my students from the very beginning. But did they listen? No. They wanted their movies and their TV shows and their YouTube.
Well, actually, all of those things can be educational. This history video right now is being watched on YouTube.
Oh, point taken. Carry on.
Next, you'll learn about the Louisiana Purchase. It doubled the size of the United States overnight. It enabled us to gain the port city of New Orleans. This was really important for opening up trade. Now, Thomas Jefferson was able to buy the Louisiana Territory from the French. You see, France was willing to sell because they were in another war with the British. You started it. No, 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 you started it. Now you're talking like a French. No, I wasn't. Can't we just stop and let Mr. Turco carry on with the history lesson? Agreed. So the French needed money to pay for their war with the British. They were willing to sell the Louisiana Territory to America. And when President Jefferson asked Napoleon, he was the leader of France at the time, when he asked Napoleon, "How much will this cost?" Napoleon said something like,
$1 million.
Actually, let's fix that. It was more like $15
million.
Well, that may sound like a lot of money, but for all the land that was gained, it was a great deal. Time to review. Pause the video and read the chapter. Afterwards, come back and let's see what you've learned. A group of representatives who elect the president and vice president based on the popular vote in each state is called the Electoral College. Think electoral comes from elect. What did Thomas Jefferson believe to be the most important thing for people to have in order to remain free and self-governed? Education, that's right.
Education's all that matters.
Finally, which piece of the Louisiana Purchase was most important for U.S. farmers because of trade? You guessed it again, the port city of New Orleans. Now, the entire purchase doubled the size of America overnight. $15
million.
But at the time, what was even more important was having New Orleans, because it opened up trade between all the country and Europe. See you next time for another History Hook.